Hi, welcome back to Handicrafting with Mimi. It's that time of the month where we're doing a napkin exchange, and Sarah with Sunflower and DIYing is our host, and our co-host is Cindy with Z9 Designs. This month I sent mine to Abriel, and I got mines from Shawnie with glitzy stitches, and I'm going to open my envelope to see the napkins that I got. This particular month there is basically what we were working on or anything we wanted to do. Basically not our stash, but we don't have a real theme. I think once I see my napkins, I'll figure out what I'm going to do. And so let's get this going. All right. Here we go. And there's a card. Glitzy Stitch Homes DIYs. And it's her business card. It's pretty cool. She is on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, so you can follow her there. And we have a little note. So it says, Naomi, I cannot wait to see what you create. I know your DIYs will be amazing. Happy spring, my friend, Shawnie. All right, let's see our napkins here. She's got them in a little piece of paper. Oh, another card. This is cute. It says, it isn't what we say or think that defines us, but what we do. Jane Austen. And she's got a little tree. Isn't it cute? And we got, oh, how cute. Look at this. We got little Easters. I guess we're going to do Easter with these. And they're not, they're kind of double-sided, but only on the edges. These are really beautiful. She separated each napkin with a little wax paper. Just cute. And we got little bunnies. Aren't they adorable? They're the same on the reverse side as well. Feels like it's a 3-ply. And then more bunnies. Oh, how cute. It's got eggs on the back and tulips in the front with her little eggs. Love tulips. And more tulips. Look at this. I love tulips. My second favorite flower. And I want to say these are roses. They're really pretty. Oh, definitely going to use this one. Look at that. Tulips. Purple, pink, and yellow. All right. So I guess I'm doing Easter. And as soon as I figure out what I'm going to do, I will get back to you. For you in a few seconds, for me, and I don't know. See you in a bit. So I opened this one, and at first I thought it was just the corner here and it repeated itself, but once I opened it, I realized it was a full napkin of tulips. And the first thing I did was look at my canvases and realize I had a 14 by 14. So I am going to Mod Podge this onto the canvas, but I'm going to take it out of the frame. I haven't decided if I want to paint the frame, but I brought out these, and you tell me which one would look better. I sort of like this to go around it. It's almost the same colors with these flowers here. Not the ribbon, but the print on there. But I also came up with this. I'm not sure which one I like best, but I'm going to use it around the border of the canvas and not the frame, or so. And then you guys all might be familiar with this ribbon. It's bark is what it is. I was thinking of wrapping the frame with it to give it something, or paint it. Tell me what you would do. Paint the frame or wrap it with this. I'll be back. Okay, I went ahead and cut the canvas off the frame. And I wanted you to see. Not all frames are the same, but this one in particular has that groove here. So that's where this comes in. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I'll probably have to paint it anyways, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do. But I was thinking either this green or which would you choose? For now, I'm going to go ahead and paint the frame. I'm going to iron the napkin. I'm thinking that I might paint the canvas as well before actually Mod Podging it. I'll be doing step by step in a minute. Okay, so I think I've decided. First of all, I'm going to cover it with a thin layer of Mod Podge because it does like to soak up since it is raw wood. So I'm not going to paint it. I'm just going to Mod Podge it and I'm going to glue this on. I'm not sure if I'm going to Mod Podge it on or glue it on. But for now, I'm going to give it a thin coat. And then once it dries, I will add a second coat. I hope that it'll work that way. And I'll start adding that on. I'm doing the inside and the outside and the back part. Because I'm going to wrap that around here. So I went ahead and cut 4 strips of the same size to go around the edges of the frame. And I started cutting it because I wanted to basically do the corners. But I messed up already, and then as I was sitting here trying to figure out how I was going to do it, I remembered my husband, the way he used to lay carpet. So when he laid carpet, he literally would cut to the edge of a wall. And then from the wall, he figured out the corners. So I'm going to attempt that on here. And we'll see how it goes. So what I was thinking is I'm going to Mod Podge this, then cut it, and then try to do the rest. I've got my nifty little sponge ready and my Mod Podge and my blade to do all that. I was going to do a light coat, but this is a little thicker than a napkin, so I'm thinking maybe a medium coat, not too heavy, not too thin. So now we're gonna, or I'm going to cut this corner to where it meets the wood so that I can fold it over to where the corner is. Just right there. There it is. Now, this part here, I'm gonna wait till it dries before I cut it off. But these corners, I'm trying to cut it so that I don't have to, or it doesn't get in the way when I go to add the other pieces. Fold this to the corner as well. Oh. Now the glue did not seep through the ribbon at all. So I think I'm going to give it a coat. And I am using the matte Mod Podge, so it doesn't shine. I don't really want this to shine, but I'm going to give it a coat. And I'm going to wait till it dries up before I put in the other corner or the other sides. And I will be doing that off camera so that you don't have to sit through. So I'm going to go ahead and try to soak it on this side now. Okay, so I'm going to wait for this to dry and then proceed with the other 3 sides and I will be back. I'm going to Mod Podge all of the canvas. I had only thought of doing the center, but the napkin is literally, after I ironed it, as big as the canvas. But I'm going to do most of it off camera, so you don't have to watch all of this. While the canvas dries, I'm gonna work on the frame a little bit now that it's dried. Not sure if you could see it, but I think it turned out pretty cool. So now I'm gonna take off this leftover that's hanging over here. I'm gonna go ahead and take a sand block and see if that'll work. If not, I'll probably have to cut it off. Basically, I'm not sure how I'm gonna do this because I want to keep it here. And I'll probably do this off camera because it'll be too loud, but I wanted you to see at least the beginning of it. And yeah, it's gonna come out easily. So I'm gonna finish it off and then I'll be right back to show you the end product. Okay, so our canvas is dry now and I'm going to iron it, trying to set it centered to the canvas. I I actually ironed it. Now the reason I'm doing it sideways is because my ironing board is not that wide, but I'm gonna attempt to iron it one piece at a time. So I am going to do one corner at a time, basically this portion and that one, and work my way from the center out. The napkin has a few wrinkles that I don't want to press into it, so I'm going to start this way, and hopefully I don't get the folds. It worked almost perfect. There's still a couple of wrinkles, but most of them were ironed out. So I'm going to do the rest of this off camera, and I'll be back. Here it is all ironed, and I'm gonna mention some things. I noticed that when you iron a napkin to get the creases off, it makes the napkin bigger. It stretches it out some way. So when you go to iron it with your Mod Podge, because it is stretched a little bit, you have to have a crease somewhere. And I got one here and here. It's very little and minimal, but still, because the napkin did stretch out, it didn't spread out evenly. So maybe don't iron the creases until you're actually going to Mod Podge on, or not Mod Podge on it, but when you iron it, that way you don't see the little wrinkles on that edge. I'm hoping that was what the problem was. But anyways, here is what I came up with after I ironed it. And now, originally I had talked to you guys about putting ribbon on the border. Turns out the ribbon is a little too long, or too wide, excuse me, for the frame itself. But I still wanted to incorporate it. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this to the edge of the napkin before I attach it to the frame. That way you could see a little bit of the ribbon under the frame. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that off camera, and then I will show you the end result. Okay, so what I did is I measured out the ribbon to the size of the napkin, and I wasn't gonna show you, I was just gonna show you the end results, but why not? So I decided to at least do the last one on camera. So I take the ribbon and I run a small amount of glue sometimes right at the edge of the napkin, because I want it to just be kind of like a border, like a picture. You know how they have those mats to make a border on your picture when you have it. I press it down to get it as smooth as possible, and I continue on with the I think I misjudged the border of the napkin. I did miss the border, so I'm going to try that again. So there is a little bit of glue on the canvas, but I'm okay with that because that's going to be covered by the frame. Just basically put a little line of glue, not too thick, like I did a minute ago. And just a dab at the end, or the corner, to hold it in place. And there's that border. So now I'll take the frame. There's not very much visible, but I didn't want a lot either. I just wanted it to stand out a little bit. So it's just on the edge. I don't know if you could see it. And I'm pretty much going to hot glue it on. I'll probably put a couple staples on too so it's more permanent. And so I will do that off camera because apparently I shake a lot when I'm on camera. So I will be back in a second. I went ahead and glued it, and right now what I'm doing, I actually put 2 staples here, and I'm going to do the same thing here. And I'm kind of feeling for the groove. There's a groove on the back side. I can't seem to find it on this side. There it is. It's a little loud, so that's 1. And 2. So that'll keep it from falling off. Isn't that just gorgeous? Now I'm going to take my X-Acto knife and cut on the edges here. Okay, this one's bigger, so I could actually get to the edge of it. All right, so I'm going to clean this up, cut the rest of it off, clean it up, and then I will show you at the end of the video. I didn't show you what I did for the hanger, or if I had a hanger. So I took some of this jute wire that I got from the Dollar Tree. So I centered it to the edge here, but I folded it, and when I cut it, the jute actually came off of that. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to put a little bit of glue, and I'm going to twist the jute back on. But I'm using my nifty little sticky fingers there so I don't burn myself. And although only one side fell apart, I'm going to do it to both sides. That way I know it doesn't fall apart. Now, if you notice, I folded the ends. I'm going to put it down with the staple gun. But I wanted to put the staples between the jute so that it has something to latch on once it's stapled. Let me make sure that I have it right. All right, here we go. That's 1. And that's 2. And bring this here in case it comes loose. It has something to grab itself so you can hang it. I wanted it taut so that wherever you put your nail or thumbtack, or it's just there and it doesn't go up and down. So now you can actually hang it. All right, let's go on to project number 2. Okay, so I got these trays from Amazon a long time ago for a project that I never actually did. So now what I'm going to do with them, I decided that I was going to take the smallest tray. So there's this one, or this one. What do you guys think? I think the bigger one. Yeah. So I was picking out some paint colors and I wasn't too happy. I have this suede. It's a lightly textured olive color. And I have this light fern. I mixed them together to come up with a prettier color. It's not too dark, not too light. just in between. And I'm going to paint these all over to use this napkin. So I was painting the larger one, and it was, to me, too thick. I wanted it with texture, but not, you know, thick enough to where I couldn't see the grain. So what I did is I took my water bottle, my nifty little spray bottle, and I kind of sprayed the wood a little bit, just to make it to where it's not so thick. Like I said, I wanted the grain to still show, but I did not want it really thick. Anyway, that's a nifty little trick that I use. So now that our tray is dry, I am going to Mod Podge all the edges to get my flower, or I'm sorry, my napkin on here. I was actually going to Mod Podge and put it on as I went, but since it is a flat surface on all sides, I'm going to go ahead and do the ironing method. So I'm going to Mod Podge it and then iron it on. So I went ahead and took the first ply off, and I'm going to iron this on, but I'm not going to trim it. I'm going to iron it and then trim it and then iron it and trim it, because I'm not sure if I'm going to have enough to go all the way around. We're going to cut as we go. Okay, so I went ahead and did the first piece. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my sanding block and sand this off. But either the wood is cut wrong or the napkin is not right, because it didn't seem to match up no matter how hard I tried. So I'm going to have to sand it on both ends. While I wait for the spun one to dry, I just put Mod Podge on it. I had to repair it, and so now I'm waiting for it to dry. I'm going to go ahead and finish the bottom part of the tier tray, and I'm going to use a little wood glue and hot glue to put these down. I'm putting them kitty corner because I just think there's too much square, because there is going to be more square. And I'm going to do the same thing to all four sides. Now I'm going to use this. I got this at the secondhand store for, I think it was like $1.20 or $1.25. I'm not going to put it in the center. I'm going to put it exactly where it's at. Well, I got to measure it out to make sure that I put it directly in the center. So I went ahead and I sized it from here to here and here to here. It's exactly 5.5. Actually, not exactly, but I'm going to mark it with my pencil so that I can lift it and set it back exactly where it's at. And I think I'm just going to use hot glue and wood glue. So I'm going to leave that to set. And then when I finish the small tray, I'm going to use the glue and finish the top one and put it on there. I don't want it to be centered. I want it to be further back. So offset. It'd be more like steps rather than center pieces. I don't know that you could see, but the way my camera's set right now, the best I can do. I will show you. At the final reveal, I will have a couple of things on it and show you how it looks. I hope you like it. Okay, so this is going to be another project. I'm gonna turn it into a flower pot planter kind of thing. And I'm using this tulip napkin. And I painted it the same color as a tier tray. And I wanted to keep it into the same color scheme. I'm gonna Mod Podge this to the front. First thing I'm gonna do is take the plies off. Be careful when you pull, you can rip it, like I just did. It's not very big. So I was taking off the second ply. It kind of ripped on me, which is fine because I am going to fuzzy cut, I think people call it. So I'm okay with that. Now, I'm thinking of using more than one of these corners, but we'll see how this one comes out. Okay, I am going to start right in here, work my way down, and then flip it around and do it from here up. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry for a minute, and then I'm gonna give it a second coat, and then I'm gonna add my second one to the back. I went ahead and put in some floral foam for some flowers. Now, the center ones are solid all the way down. The ones on here is just so that my reindeer moss stays. I don't have tulips, but I do have some spring flowers that I'm gonna use. These are going to be the ones that I'm going to be putting on here. So I will have it at the end for final reveals. I am starting my next project. I'm going to try to create a medal. Again, working with the same color motif. I will put everything together and then show you how I'm going to complete this. I'm going to start putting my napkin down, and hopefully it comes out as I plan. Things don't always come out as planned, but we're gonna try. So that's the first part of our flowers from the one napkin. And I'm gonna start adding the rest of the stuff. Now, I don't know if you can see it. It's supposed to be a daisy. They're very faint, but I thought it would be a cute idea to add them. Okay, so I don't think you could see the daisies, but either way, I threw them on there. I had a few extra left over. I thought I was gonna need more, but I didn't. Before I create the middle, I wanted to add ribbon. I got this at the Dollar Tree, and it's got little bunny prints. Okay, I put a little bow. That's the only one bow I can make, a shoelace bow. So I am going to finish this off and show you the middle. I was hoping I had some in my stash, but I didn't have, you know, those sheets that are rainbow moss or Spanish moss, but I didn't have one. So I am just filling this up as best I can to cover. I'm not gluing it down because, again, this is not permanent. I want to be able to use it with other deco. I had these from last year. I wanted to use them. Might have to glue these down after all. And these are styrofoam that I painted. And then I wanted to take a few of the eggs. I got these all at the Dollar Tree. Now these have a little hanging thing for like a Christmas tree ornament. And most of the time I would have taken them off, but this time I think I'm going to just leave them on. They'll get hidden away. And these are also left over from last year. And I thought I'd put a few in here. But I'll fix it up, and then I will do a final reveal with the rest of the project. Okay, our next project, I'm going to Mod Podge this and add this cute little napkin right here and do some embellishments. I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge this first, let it dry. I'm doing the iron-on method on this one. It seems to be my favorite. And I'm going to cover the whole board. That way it has the same sheen, even though it's matte. I'm going to go ahead and let this dry, and then I will be back. We've let this dry completely, and I was looking for things to add to it, but I'm kind of a simple, plain kind of thing, you know, so it's really hard for me to find anything to embellish with. So I am just going to iron this on, and I did find this, And it says blessed, so I'm going to put that here at the bottom or at the top. Not sure exactly yet. And I went and painted it. Oh, guess it's still wet. What's it called? Sun-Kissed Peach by Apple Barrel. Bring in the paper. I know the napkin's only in the center, but I went ahead and ironed the whole block so it'd have the same sheen, because I have noticed that when you iron it, even if it's matte, it still gives it that nice sheen. And so, yeah. There you go. Now, I'm not putting a whole bunch of this, but it is hot wood glue, and so it will stick. Let's see. Oops, don't drop it yet. So, what do you think? Alright. And for my last one, or second to the last one, a minute there, I went ahead and painted again. I'm using all these colors. I want to make sure that I get him right at the edge. And the reason for it is because I want to get in all these little flowers. Okay, that should be on there. Let's make sure. And now I'm going to take my sandpaper, and sand the edges so I can have a clean edge. Alright, so there's that one. Now you can get these. I wanted to show you. These are displays easels. You can get these at the Dollar Tree. Here's the SKU number if you need it. I like using them even just to show you guys. I got a few of them. And sometimes you just don't want to add the tower block and just want to sit it on an easel and call it good. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. Give us a thumbs up and a comment on which one you like best. So this was the napkin exchange for the month of March. Our host again is Sarah from Sunflower and DIYing. Our co-host was Cindy with Z9 Design. There will be a playlist in the description box below of all the ladies who join us to do all these napkin exchanges. They do wonderful work. I will also have Kathy Jo's link as well. I've learned a lot of things from her, and I've used a lot of things from her. Have a great day.